Hello and welcome to another Friday night scary stories. Tonight's story plot was given to us by Danny from Chasing Bones and Specters. If you have a story plot you'd like to share with me, please get me on Messenger and check out Danny's channels. His links will be in the description below. This story is based on the very famous urban legend of the Wendigo. This story is called The Last Cabin. Deep in the dense, shadow-choked woods near the Great Lakes, there sat a near-forgotten campground. A scattering of weathered cabins dotted the shoreline, nestled beneath towering pines and maples. The season was ending and only a few lingering guests remained, drawn by solitude or perhaps something older. Then a 911 call came just at dusk. The dispatcher couldn't understand a word the man was saying, just wild, guttural sobbing and gasping and crying. He was too far gone, babbling in sheer panic, so she sent officers to his location just in case. When the authorities arrived, they found the caller sitting on the steps of one of the cabins, rocking back and forth. His eyes were wide and glassy. His skin, along with his hair, had gone bone white, as if the color had been drained from his very soul. All he could manage to whisper to the officer was, "It was a monster. It was a monster." Inside the cabin, the scene was worse than anything the small-town police had ever encountered. Blood stains on the floorboards and walls. The family who had rented the cabin, 2 adults and 2 children, were little more than bones and torn flesh. Half-eaten, mauled, and torn open. The initial suspicion was a bear or even a rogue wolf. A search party scoured the woods for signs of animal activity, but found no tracks, no fur, no scat, nothing. Whatever had done this had vanished without a trace. Desperate, with the only witness insisting it had been a monster, the authorities reached out to the local diocese, specifically to their small but seasoned paranormal investigation team. It was a long shot, but no one else wanted to step foot back near that cabin. The team arrived quickly 2 nights later. They began their investigation where the killings had taken place, then moved from one cabin to the next, documenting strange EMF readings, temperature drops, and unsettling symbols scratched into door frames and window sills. And then just 2 cabins remained. As they stepped into the second-to-last cabin, the air shifted, thick, heavy, like the air before a thunderstorm. They shut the door behind them, and that's when the noise began. Low growling, distant at first, then closer. Scratching, long, deliberate, claw marks on the outside wall. Something heavy landed on the roof with a dull thump that shook the rafters. Then the investigators heard a voice, a human voice, muffled, distorted. "You need to let me in," then silence. Then more banging, violent, desperate. "You have to let me in." The growls returned, circling the cabin now, accompanied by the sound of something large brushing against the walls, snorting and panting. One of the investigators, voice shaking, whispered, "That sounds like a Wendigo." His partner nodded, wide-eyed. "Yeah, let's throw some flares out the back window, make a run for the boat. That's our only shot." They checked the windows. Nothing was visible, just black forest and shadows that shifted too much. They lit the flares, cracked the window, and tossed them into the dark. There was a loud thud, something heavy hitting the earth. Startled, that was their chance. They bolted out the front door, racing through the trees towards the dock. The air behind them howled with rage as they leapt into their boat, untied the rope with shaking hands, and floored the motor, skimming across the water as fast as it would go. They looked over their shoulder towards the pier, and they heard the voice again, this time louder, closer, furious. "You got away from me!" On the pier stood a massive figure, half man, half beast. Its limbs were unnaturally long, its skin stretched so tight across its bone, its face twisted and hollow, horns curled from its skull like a stag from hell. It stood with its arms outstretched, watching them vanish into the mist. They never returned to the campground. No one did. And in the deep woods, the last cabin waits. Thanks for watching another Friday night spooky campfire story. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I'll leave a link for last week's story in the description below. If you like this kind of stuff, there's also a playlist of all the Friday night stories. We'll see you again next week.